Let's begin with the trouble on the Plateau in the north-central Nigeria, which is showing no sign of abating. Gunmen killed at least 20 people, including women and children, in separate attacks on villages in Bakinladi local government area of the state. Asuko, this is embarrassing. After the chief of army staff went there and, charged his men that nothing should drop, that's absolutely that they should maintain peace and order in that state. And we're still seeing attacks. Where did they come from? How many hours did they operate?
It's becoming, I don't want to use the word ridiculous, but I have to, because the chief of army staff was there during the Mangu crisis.
Yes.
And he gave that order. In fact, everybody, we are all happy that at least this is the chief of army staff going there on the boats trying to see how...
The whole of that state were thinking that so,
exactly,
with the military presence.
At least with that military presence, and even a base, a little base, a special base, created so that they'll be able to nip all these crises in the bud. We are still having, constant, even in Mangu itself, that community, we still have IDPs, because even the people in Mangu who left their homes because of this same crisis are still having in IDP camps. There is still no respite for them. And now we are talking about Bankilani, who is like all the time they keep having these, killings with nobody being arrested. So I think there need to be another approach in terms of trying to nip this crisis, because as it is now, every day this will keep happening. And we don't want a situation whereby we'll have a reprisal by those who are being killed. What we want is a situation where those who actually kill are being apprehended and then let them face justice. Because it's like every day we just wake up 22 people being killed. Ayo, you need to see the pictures from Bakinladi. You will weep for Nigeria, honestly. So the CDS and the Nigerian army, the chief of army staff, they need to come up with another strategy. And I don't know if, I don't want to say that it was just like for photo ops when he went to Mangu. I don't want to say that. I want to believe that he has good intentions of trying to address this crisis.
They understand the terrain to the extent that knowing that the military presence, knowing where to beat.
Yeah, of course, because it's like they know that by the time they finish the attack and they leave, the army will come and then they will now start looking for innocent people to arrest.
Being reactive.
Exactly. They need to come up with proactive measures, whereby even after 2-3 days, when these things these attacks are being carried out, they have to find how they can cordon off that entire area and all the local governments, if possible, to be able to arrest these guys.
Tune, I don't know. The situation is not looking good in Plateau states. Off and on, if we don't have from Mangu, we are going to have in Rayon. If we don't have in Rayon, attack in Rayon, we're going to have in Bakiladi.
Well, I think basically, if you ask me, you begin to ask yourself whether those people who are doing the killings are human beings at all. Because for what purpose are they killing human life? Since no matter any war that has been fought since probably 1914, it always ended on the table, negotiation table, like the ECOWAS leaders are trying to do now. So I don't know why people cannot sit down at a round table and iron out their differences rather than killing people in cold blood. Yes, it will also appear that those people who are doing the killing, they are spread all over the local governments that we have in Plateau State. The other time that the chief of staff, Lagbaja, went to Mangu, people had a sort of relief that at last the army has actually put some headquarters there. But it will now appear as if the capacity of the army and the capacity of those people who are doing the killing is much more than that of the Nigerian security, like we have with the Boko Haram. The Boko Haram people had the intelligence report of how the Nigerian army were moving. But these people also had the intelligence report of the strength of the army battalion that had been stationed at Mangu. But it's not also possible to station a battalion in all parts of Plateau State. So what it means is that our capacity or our tactics needs to be changed from time to time, because these people are equally spread in all sensitive areas. And you remember that it is the conflict with the Biron people Because this time around, it is the Birom that they are killing again. It is the conflict that started years ago that is still. So why is it that these people have the capacity to always gain the upper hand? These people who are doing the killing, they always have the capacity to gain the upper hand and defeat the Nigerian military. I think there has to be a concerted effort, a new thinking about strategy. Yes, it's not possible to move the whole of the Nigerian army in the north, either Kaduna infantry, to move it down to Plateau. But we have to do something because it appears they have the capacity and the wherewithal to keep on committing this, I will call it a genocide, because when you snuff out life in cold blood, 21, they went there 1:30 a.m. And I don't believe that place is too vast that we cannot get intelligent report and nip the prisoner in the bud. So I think the army authorities have to do something.
I think apart from the military option now, I think we have to go to the drawing board, since it has been identified that it's a problem between the
Birom and the people.
Exactly, Ayo. So we know that it is an age-long crisis, or dispute between the
Fulani settlers.
Fulani settlers, and
so this is
which was caused by the creation of local governments.
Yeah, this is where the government has to come in, and not just only the state government. Perhaps the federal government can
traditional rulers, stakeholders, elders.
All of them will need to come in and see how they can, address the problem. Because take it or leave it, I know that the DSS would have had intel about most of these things, but I'm very sure they would either they will have the intelligence, but they can't move in, because they don't know the extent to which these guys have acquired arms.
And their capacity to commit.
You understand? So that is where the political solution has to come in, whereby the traditional rulers, the youths, the religious leaders, and then the government have to now sit down to see how they can address this situation. If it is a land dispute, which I feel that is even where most of the problem comes in, it is not only in Plateau, even in Calabar, in Akwa Ibom, everywhere.
Between the settlers and the
indigenous. The indigenous. Sometimes we usually have this land dispute about, this is my father's land and it has moved into another person's local government or whatever. We can begin to have, because we have a boundary commission, the boundary commission officials can also come and see how they can address this, so that we address this matter, and then the wanton killing can stop. Because it's like every time you wake up, it is Plateau. Every time we wake up, and this is a state that is very, very peaceful. When once you go to Plateau like this, you will experience that peace, especially if you go to Jos. So, but people, when we talk about development, if those who want to come and invest in Nigeria, and they want to go to Jos, for instance, and they hear that people are being killed, how would they go there and invest? So they just need a political solution, apart from the military solution that we are already talking about. The government has to now come in and see how they can address this age-long crisis, because if not, it will keep going and people will keep dying. Children were killed, women were killed.
Targets, children and women.
And those are innocent people who know little or nothing about this whole crisis.